I think the reason most people stay stuck in like whatever they're doing is because they don't have a system built. I mean, like a system, like a schedule where they can go day by day, look at it. What am I doing this hour? What am I doing this hour? What am I doing next? What's tomorrow's goal looking like? And I've noticed whenever I don't have a set schedule, like my whole day feels like it disappears under my feet. Like I would wake up and say, okay, I got to do this and this today. Like I know I have to do this, but then I end up just not doing it. Like I procrastinate. I feel like, oh man, I really should have done that. Time is passing and I still let time pass even after that. And then the overthinking comes in and then I end up not doing anything that day and then feel worse the next day. And then since I'm feeling bad from the last day, I'm worried about that instead of doing the stuff for that day, which is the next day. But quite recently, I started trying something new, trying to build an actual schedule and telling myself, okay, you got this, this, and this to do today. You're going to do this for this many hours. Okay, here's an alarm. Do this for this many hours. And here's another alarm. Here's the next thing to do. And instead of trying to do everything at once or try to be instantly perfect, building it out in a week to where, okay, do this day by day, to where the whole week builds you up instead of trying to build yourself all in one day. Okay, I got to hit everything today, become a better person all in one day. And then I got to do that tomorrow and do that tomorrow and do that tomorrow. No, you take one day, you do these things, you take another day, do the next things, another day, do the next thing. So you can actually hit those things effectively. And, that week, you compound that week and you improve week by week. And it's like, it gets to a point where you got to realize that you don't grow day by day. Obviously, like it goes day by day. Your life goes day by day. But realistically, if you set your week right and you upgrade every single week, you take those 7 days and you upgrade, is a lot more effective than going every single day. What can I do better? What can I do better? What can I do better? Because you don't have no consistency. You're just thinking, okay, what can I do better? How can I optimize? You never try anything long enough to see, okay, am I actually growing? Am I actually learning? And it goes for anything. Like if you're making content, if you're always thinking about new content ideas and making new types of videos every single day, first of all, you're going to burn out. Second of all, like you're not going to be able to see what's working because you only did it for one day. Sometimes stuff takes multiple days for you to see something, like if you look at analytics, you can't just go off of one day and then say, okay, we got, switch it up next day. You got to go a whole week, what's working, what's not working. Obviously, you do different types of stuff throughout the week, but if you don't treat it as, okay, this whole week is this is what I'm building for the whole week, you won't grow as fast as you think you would. And I started, actually time blocking my day, not to become like a robot, because that's not going to help you either. If you feel like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this and this, yeah, do this, and you're not even happy anymore, you're not even enjoying it anymore. You're just doing what you got to do, executing, whatever. But I did it because I needed the direction. I needed to know, okay, what is the agenda today? Because if you don't have anything set out, even if like just writing it down, most likely you're not going to actually carry it out. You're not actually going to do anything about it. You're going to think about it the whole day, maybe create one thing and then you're going to stop. And then it's going to repeat. And you're just going to turn into one of those people who talk about it and don't do nothing about it. And then you also got to realize like it takes energy. Like it would take me so much energy, like just thinking about what I wanted and to plan in my head, okay, I gotta do this and this, I'm gonna make this much, I'm gonna have this many followers, this many subscribers. Like you got to realize that takes energy too. Like you got mental strength and energy too. The same way your muscles, you got mental like energy. And so if that's not being directed at a set plan, you're just gonna be using up all that energy and then you wonder why you're not able to do anything. And I'll be honest, it's like whenever you set a schedule like this, and I usually start mine on Mondays. Like I say, okay, Monday, here's what's going to happen, right? To be honest, whenever you start something like this, or at least for me, when I started, it was like I would set it and then like I wouldn't do everything I said I would. It would be quite shaky, especially if I already built, discipline or a system already. And another way, like how I've been doing this week, I've been doing the last couple weeks a certain way. And I completely switched it up as far as like what I'm doing like throughout the schedules. And it's been difficult trying to get, into that rhythm. And it takes time, you got to get that momentum going, to be able to hit that system, And that's why it's so important to think about it in a week. What can you do in a week? Because even though I didn't hit the stuff on Monday that I was supposed to hit, the stuff on Tuesday that I was supposed to hit, stuff on Wednesday that I was supposed to hit, I can still section it out throughout the week to say, okay, this can still be a productive week. Even though it's not max production, it can still be productive because then I start building the momentum. Then next week, I can hit that Monday and actually do the stuff I need to do. And then that's another big push for momentum. Then Tuesday, I hit the stuff I need to do. And Wednesday, I need to hit. And so what I found out is whenever I create a system like this or a schedule, depending on whatever it is, because I've used it for multiple things, is that whenever you start it out, you gotta expect that you won't hit everything. Like you won't be perfect on day one when you start a new system, or you start back on a system. Like it's not gonna be okay, I'm back in, I'm gonna execute everything. That's not how it's gonna work. You're gonna feel shaky. You might skip a day. You might feel like, okay, I didn't feel productive today. That's how it's gonna happen. But what you gotta realize is you gotta still hit what you can. Make some progress. Do one thing at least, and then the next day do 2 things. The next day do 3 things. What you can, until eventually you get to the point where now this is effortless. You don't even need to look at the schedule because you already know what you're doing. And like as long as I continue to do what I could, eventually I get to the point where everything becomes effortless. Like I said, it just becomes second nature. And once you get into that motion again, once you start getting in that flow state, everything becomes so easier. You feel like you can add a whole nother week inside your week, and it's a great feeling. And I think this is also where like most people fail, is because they expect to be 100% at the very beginning. But like I said, that's not how it's gonna happen. It's not how it's gonna work. Because real consistency is built slowly. That discipline is built slowly. Like you cannot build something, you can't just bring a house and build it. Like it takes brick by brick. You got to build it brick by brick, like one day at a time, one habit at a time, one complicated task at a time. And, I'm still figuring out this whole life stuff, but for the first time and forever, I feel like it's going, it's working. I have that direction of where I'm going. And honestly, I think that changes everything. If you're trying to, build your life too, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're in school, you're an entrepreneur, subscribe to the channel, like the video, because we're all trying to figure this out in real time. And I document the whole journey starting from like now, I guess. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.